Hello and welcome in. It's the PHNX Cardinals halftime show live from Gila River Resorts and Casinos at Wild Horse Pass. Come check us out. Phenomenal vibes until the first half started. Arizona Cardinals currently trail San Francisco 23-10 after initially leading 7-0. Stop me if you've heard this before, Bo Brock, and everybody in the capacity crowd. Hit that like. The Cardinals opened the game by scoring a touchdown. They have since gone out without a whimper, Bo Brock.
That's kind of been the status quo, right? We've seen this team come out and score on the opening drive in all 5 games and then go away, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's necessarily on the play calling this time around. You've actually seen this offense be able to move the football, but they shot themselves in the foot. One being the loss of your place kicker and Matt Prater and having to have a replacement kicker and Chad Ryland in there and kicking a ball like that probably wouldn't have cleared a textbook on the ground. I mean, that's unfortunate. And that's 6 points, 7 points going the other way. You've got Trey McBride dropping a touchdown pass. That turns into a field goal. That's shooting yourself in the foot. And then Kyler Murray dotting up Nick Bosa for a pick going the other way that turned into points for the San Francisco 49ers. So, you know, if you're counting, it's 4 points on the McBride that you don't get. It's 7 points on the blocked field goal, and then it's 3 the other way. I mean, you've got already no margin for error, and you're giving the San Francisco 49ers points to end that half, 3 consecutive drives.
Yeah, and you know, I talked about this before we went on air. You mentioned it. Like, I don't think Brock Purdy's been great in this game. I think he's been okay. But for the Arizona Cardinals, again, what do they do well? They went into this game looking to prove a lot of people wrong after they laid down against the Washington Commanders a week ago. And you start off with that opening drive, and Kyler Murray, 40-plus yards, untouched, into the end zone. And it's like, maybe today will be different. The defense gets an immediate 3-and-out. And then, no, it's a comedy of errors, just like our show title depicts, from an egregious decision, I thought, from head coach Jonathan Gannon. It's 4th and 6. With a place kicker that was unequivocally, go look at the numbers, the worst place kicker in the NFL last year. I don't care what the elements are. You ask him to do that in a game in which you shouldn't be kicking field goals anyway, given the state of your defense. Your third down play calls should be predicated on knowing that you have to go for it on 4th down. And we talked about that in the pregame show. And, like, I'm sorry, they deserve what they got. You allow that guy to kick anything over 40 yards in this game, you are asking for it to not only be missed, but to be blocked and subsequently returned for a touchdown. That's what we saw.
But look at on the other side of things. I mean, San Francisco is putting out their punter as their kicker, right? And he's converting. He's able to put it through the uprights to extend this lead. No, absolutely.
It's execution.
Things are too hard for this team right now.
What do they do well?
You see well-coached teams right now, and look, I'm not putting the emphasis on the shoulders of the coaching staff, but things are too hard for this organization right now. I mean, that's becoming a brutal reality for this team now as we sit here in week 5. And you look at the box score, you look at Kyler Murray and his performance, you say, hey, you know, outside of one pass, not so bad, and Brock Purdy hasn't been great, but yet the score is lopsided. You're down 13 points going in the locker room, and it's essential now coming out that you score points. Not just, you can't put Chad Ryland back out there for a field goal.
You score touchdowns.
You have to score touchdowns. You do. And guys like Trey McBride, I mean, unfortunately, the pressure mounts like, hey, you got to come down with it when you have the opportunity to put 6 up against the 49ers defense.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, too, because outside of that interception, I thought Kyler Murray played well in the first half.
He did.
And
like,
again,
I'm not giving him a pass. I mean, it was a brutal pick to end the half, right? I mean, you were once again in a position to score points, and you came up empty, and it was points going the other way. It can't happen when you're trying to make, kind of punch and play above your weight class against this Niners team. Yeah,
it's unfortunate because I thought the Cardinals at times did things well, but here's something they're not doing well the last 2 weeks, running the football. And again, like if you're Drew Petzing and you want to be this physical, run-dominant team, like where is that? Where's that going to come from? Like I don't want to hear excuses. Like you're missing Kelvin Beachum, that's it. You have all the rest of the equal parts of the equation. The Niners this year cannot stop the run. They don't have their supremely gifted defensive tackles. Are they going to be able to sit in the pocket and throw darts in the second half with no threat of a run game? I question that, especially after Nick Bosa, on top of his interception, almost got home against Kelvin Beachum multiple times in that first half. The Cardinals' defense, respectfully, is on life support. You cannot allow this defense to be exposed to too many lengthy drives and expect to get the ball back. So if you're Jonathan Gannon and Drew Petzing coming out of the locker room, this is the most important drive of the year thus far. You've gifted San Francisco multiple possessions, multiple points. You're down 13. If it wasn't clear already, you have to play a flawless half. And part of that needs to come from your head coach, your offensive coordinator, and your quarterback being in complete cohesiveness, understanding the point in hand. We cannot punt the football. We cannot settle for field goals. We have to force the issue and get our playmakers the ball.
Yeah, you have to play a little bit reckless. You have to play without abandon. You can't play conservative at all. I mean, your margin for error is gone.
Yeah.
And to try to get back into this game, just like to try to compete in this game, the Niners are giving you every opportunity too. I mean,
it was there.
You forced the 3-and-out on the opening drive. It couldn't have started better for this Arizona Cardinals team, but then they found a new way, a new low to put themselves in a hole going into the locker room. And it's just that's what makes this fan base so frustrated at this point. It's like you had the 49ers team, like Brock Purdy and this crew, they're not playing their best game, and yet they're up 13 points.
Bad teams stay bad. Bad teams lose games. And again, I don't want to sit here with 2 quarters left to play and say that the Cardinals are dead and buried, but you lose games in the way that the Cardinals are losing games. It's one thing, Cincinnati lost overtime to Baltimore, right, and competed. The Arizona Cardinals, they're a punt on the opening possession and a Niner touchdown of just completely being done. And then you have to question everything from this organizational structure of this rebuild. No more moral victories, no more, if a ball bounced here or there. No, your errors have been on full display. What are you going to do about it? Where's that refinedly coached Jonathan Gannon team that we saw last year, where the deficiencies mostly came from the personnel gap? The Cardinals have weapons offensively. For them to be able to only put up 10 points, they're on pace to do it again this week. For the 3rd consecutive game, put up under 20 points. It's unacceptable against defenses that have been, I think, for the most part, underwhelming. The Niners defense is not what it used to be. Last week against the Commander defense. At some point, you just got to say, we're not going to be this below-average losing franchise anymore. Something has to change. Right,
and you start to look at the box and some of the things that even the stats can't hide. We're looking at 5 targets to your 4th overall pick with 1 reception as far as Marvin Harrison Jr. That connection early on, it was a disconnection.
Where's the connection?
We didn't see it. I mean, there was 2 consecutive plays where Marvin Harrison Jr. and Kyler Murray were not on the same page. One, it was one-on-one coverage where they couldn't complete the pass, but you've got 1 catch for 22 yards from Marvin Harrison Jr. It's not going to get it done. You like what you've seen from Michael Wilson. You like some from spots what you've seen from Trey McBride, but you can't get your top playmaker in the fold. You're going to have to get that going in the second half to have a chance here.
Yeah, I don't know what you're Jonathan Gannon at this point, what you can say. I don't know if the messaging
Throw stoicism out the window. Hey, I'm the level-headed guy with all the answers. Now you got to get after some people and make sure they know what they need to do their job. Execution is another question, but he's got to get at his team, at his coaching staff to come out of here with some fire in the second half.
We have not seen, and this is just a fact, great second half adjustments from the staff this year. Buffalo, Commanders, Lions, now against an opportunity against San Francisco. I'm starting, like the rest of this fan base, to lose confidence in this current regime with the effort and the execution or lack thereof that's on display every week. Enough's enough. I understand the rebuild timeline and you want to preach patience, but you are what your record is. And again, it's not only you're losing games, but the optics of how you're losing. The Cardinals, do something about it. Change that narrative. This isn't an unbeatable Niner team. They've got 2 losses on the year. You are gifting them this game with your lack of execution. Be better. We're going to be better here on the postgame show, live from Gila River Resorts. Frankly, that's the only good part of my day thus far, is being here at this supremely elite sportsbook casino here at Wild Horse Pass. Big thanks to everybody. Food's immaculate. We're having a great time outside the Arizona Cardinals imploding. So, Damon Dog, we got some super chats we want to hit before we get out of here.
Yeah, we do. We got 2. We got to rail off. Chaz499 says, we can't complain about the weather this is winter to us. Every drive should be like or better than the opening drive. Damn it.
Damn it, indeed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Big
Then,
damn it.
Loso, friend of the program, $2, says, Marv can't run a route fast.
He does look slow out there. He does look like he's in slow motion and running routes underwater.
I think that's the like unknown.
that's between the ears.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can we get some easier like routes for Marv to run? Is it that difficult? Like, can we streamline it a little bit? Damon, what do you think?
Got him, right? I mean, I feel like the times that this offense has looked best this season is when they're finding Marvin Harrison Jr. and getting him the rock. So
Well, not looking good out the gates. Kyler Murray sacks for 6 yards here to start the second half.
Good stuff. We're back on the post-game show. Big thanks to everybody. Like this video. Subscribe to PHNX Sports. We'll see you after the game.
We all silly like the mayor.